welcome back to my channel. I'm Gina of Gina Renee RN Budgets. I'm a zero-based budgeter who uses the cashless system to assist me on my journey to financial and debt freedom. If you're new here, I do videos all about saving money and budgeting and saving in your everyday lifestyle. So if that's the kind of content that you're interested in, or if you just need to learn how to start saving money, then by all means hit that subscribe button, turn on your notification bell so that you'll be notified each and every time I upload a new video. All right, so for today, what I'm sharing is what I call never be broke again payday routine. So this is what I do every single payday, no matter what. I don't care what's going on. This is what I do every payday. And it's been 3 years now, and I've been able to cover my bills, have enough money for groceries and all the things that we need, gas in the car, things like that, that last from payday to payday. And in addition to that, save money. All right. So when we talk about a zero-based budget, first of all, it does not mean you spend every dime that you make. What it means is you give every dollar that you make a job, and after that, you're left with zero money to just sit in your account for you to spend frivolously. Okay, so what you do in your budget is you account for the bills that you have due, you account for the debt you have to pay, you account for the variable expenses, which are things like your groceries, gas money, spending money, fun, entertainment, things of that nature, and then your savings. All right, so for me, everybody's situation is a little different, so you have to work it the way, you know, your situation indicates. So in my title, when I say never be broke again, what I mean is being able to pay all of your bills, pay all of those bills on time, have money for the things that you need on a daily basis, and save. And that's dependent upon your own budget. How much you save, it may not be that much initially. It may not be anything at all. But as long as your four walls are covered, those are your fixed expenses, and you have money to feed yourself and your family and gas in your car and things like that, you're not broke. Okay? You're not broke. We have to get out of the mindset of feeling like we have to have money to just run around and buy things that we really don't necessarily need and all of that, because that's what puts us in the broke status. All right. When you went out and spent money on something you didn't need, and now you're looking at your bills like, how am I going to make this work? That's when you're broke. Okay. But on the flip side, you're not broke when your bills are paid on time. You have the money you need to get the essentials that you need day to day. And maybe, hopefully, you have a little bit that you can put towards saving. I don't care if it's $1. $1 that's one more than what you normally have to save. And little bits add up. So let's get started to my budget. So that's why I named it Never Be Broke Again. It's all about perspective. Okay. So this is my budget. I budgeted $3,000. That's how much I'm budgeting today. Excuse me. My son contributes $200 during this pay period. He now got switched to getting paid weekly starting the first of the year. So that means he'll give me $100 on the 9th and $100 on this is supposed to say the 16th. So that gives us $3,200 to work with. Now, when I put MCICD, okay, that's right here. That is just an abbreviation for what this money stands for. And I'm going to tell you, the reason why I decided to make it an abbreviation is kind of sort of for privacy reasons. Because I feel like in the budgeting community, like what we do here and laying your budget out there and talking about how much you make is literally like taboo. My mama and daddy would have never discussed how much they bring home, stuff like that, right? So that being said, we're already being very open, right? But what happens is sometimes when you get into the very detail of where you spend your money, then because we're a social platform, people feel like they can kind of question why you pay what you pay for. All right. So that being said, I'll use an example, and this is not, trust me, not to offend anybody. I love my subscribers, everything. Okay. But I did get a comment asking me, because I had shared that I had been paying my daughter's car note. And I got a question like, how old is your daughter and why are you paying her car note? So, I mean, I kind of felt like, okay, it's not like I said I'm paying my neighbor's car note. It's my daughter. Regardless of how old she is, it's my daughter. And of course, I'm only covering it because she must have a need. All right. Or it's a gift that I promised to her. And that's my prerogative, because why? This is my budget and my money. But that being said, my daughter is 28 years old. She's pregnant with my first grandchild. So she's been having sickness and things like that where she can't get to work. And unfortunately, she has a job. She's a substitute teacher. And when she can't get to work, she does not get paid. All right. And we all know, if you're a mother and you've been pregnant before, you just have those days where you just can't make it work. Okay. It is what it is. So on top of that, she is in grad school, right? She's due to graduate in December. So I really try my best. This was an agreement her and I made to offer her some support to help her get through, to help her finish school for grad school, right? So that's something that I arranged with her, that I'm doing with her, that I chose to do for her. So that's why I'm paying it. But because I see that, you know, people tend to maybe question it or judge it, I'm just going to abbreviate what I'm spending on in certain categories because it's my business and I'm going to do it because I want to. All right. So like I said, not to offend anybody, but I would never get on somebody's budget and question a person about what they're doing with their money unless I plan on helping them out or something. You know what I mean? But anyway, I digress. So this particular amount encapsulates several different things. And if you've been following me for a while, you pretty much know what it stands for or what it's for. But for today, the total is $14.75. I also have numerous subscriptions. I know I got too many, but hey, it is what it is. I've reviewed the list several times and I'm not willing to budge on them, so I'm going to pay for them. And that totals $145 for this pay period. All right. I also, a few months back, decided that I would gift myself a $100 Amazon card every time I get paid. That's part of paying myself first. I save some money for myself and I gift myself a Amazon card. Sometimes it's less, sometimes it's a little more, I ain't gonna lie. And then my platinum credit card, I paid it off, but you know, after you pay it off, sometimes some interest shows up or whatever. And so I have to pay this interest off that's like $11 and something, but I always round up in my budget just to create a little natural buffer. A medical bill that I'm trying to tackle. Monday is my birthday, so I budgeted $200 for me and Kevin to go out or for me to go and buy myself something, whatever the case may be. So I budgeted $200 for that. My credentials, my nursing license, I am a registered nurse, and our license expires every 2 years on odd years on January 31st. So credentials is for me to do my CEUs that are required and to renew my nursing license. All right. So that totaled up to $21.85. I had $1,015 left. All right, so I come down to my variable expenses next. Now, there was a time in my budgeting that I separated my variable spending: groceries, household, gas, my spending money, and maybe a little miscellaneous, right? And I used to stuff envelopes, you know, the whole deal. But it was getting to be frustrating for me, and I felt like I was forcing myself to do something that was a pain in the neck just to do a video, just to do what everybody else was doing. But successful budgeting, you do what works for you. So about 2 months ago, I started like putting all my categories in a lump sum and transferring that to a separate checking account and just using my debit card. So I stopped cash stuffing, right? Because I was having issues with getting to the bank, running back and forth to the bank. Then I'd come across something that I could only use my debit card. Then I got to remember, oh, I got to go put this back in the bank. And it was too much for me. It works. Don't get me wrong. It works because the years that I did it just the way it's supposed to be done, what it did for me was form a lot of discipline and a habit of budgeting that now I'm there. Okay. So I felt like at this point I could make that transition. So I stopped using cash. I started using a separate debit account. So I have a debit account that's my operating account. That's where my check gets deposited. That's where all my auto pays come out. That's where I pay all my bills. But my variable spending, I transfer it out of that to a separate checking account, and I use my debit card. So to get me started, I was tracking each category: food, household, gas, writing it down, things of that nature. Well, then I got kind of like, this is like another step that I really don't need. If I'm going to put $600 in there, then I think I'll be able to just manage that. When it's gone, it's gone. It is what it is. So I have since stopped tracking each little payment. But I do use an expense tracker that I write it down. I just don't categorize it, if that makes sense. I don't worry about how much I used on groceries, how much I used on spending money, how much I used on gas. That's not important to me. What's important to me is that I gave myself $600 and it was enough, and I made it last through my payday. That's what's important to me. My husband, on the other hand, he prefers to go ahead and get his spending money out in cash. I guess, he don't trust me. He knows I'm see that extra 100 sitting in my spending account. It's going to get spent. Just keeping it real over here. So moving on, I don't have any extra debt payments because this is kind of a tight pay period. Plus, everything is paid off, so there's nothing extra really to pay except my medical bill, but hey, they'll be okay. So going on to my savings, that left me with $315. I put $50 into a savings account for my future grandson every pay period. Then I have a personal expense that's $200 that I'm going to use or put away because I know it's coming up. So that left me with $65 for my challenges, for my savings challenges. Plus, I think I had like $8 and something left over in my spending account. That will go to my savings challenges. And then I do a couple games where I do a little game to tell me how much I'm going to say I need to save, and I take that out of my spending money directly. I don't budget it. I take it out my spending money. So out of this 65, I'll probably do my Friday challenge and my monthly challenge and maybe one other thing. But my savings challenge video will be separate, probably Saturday. I was hoping to do this video on Wednesday, but my dad got sick and ended up having emergency surgery. Praise God, he is gonna be fine. But it was a very scary situation, the way he became ill so abruptly, and he was severely ill. So he's okay. He's still in the hospital, probably getting home, discharged tomorrow, and on his way to a full recovery. So I'll probably push my savings challenge video then to Saturday, and we'll be counting up my coins. So this is my coins that we'll be adding to Change is Good. So go ahead, turn on your notification bell so that when I do upload that video, you won't miss it. All right. And that's all I have for today. Don't forget, if you haven't subscribed, go ahead and subscribe, turn on your notification bell. Give me a like if you like this style of budgeting. I know a lot of people kind of look around for how to do it without cash because either they're apprehensive about keeping cash in their home, or they just don't really like to go out and about using cash, things of that nature. You can apply this same system and not use cash. I'm a witness, it works. All right. So as always, you guys, until next time, I wish you peace, love, and prosperity. Bye, y'all.